We've all heard the saying, fake it till you make it. That is a stupid concept. Now, as ludicrous as that sounds, majority of you still indulge in that philosophy. The only reason you believe in something as stupid as that is because it appeals to your innate lust, your insatiable desire for things. Your natural tendency, you know it's right to save. You know it's right to put something down. You know you have this desire to save for a rainy day, prepare for something big. You go against it. And in fact, this intuition isn't new. It dates back thousands of years during the time of the hunters and gatherers. They knew how to preserve a boar, they knew how to roast a deer, they knew how to put things down, how to prepare for the days to come. And one can make the argument that in those days they weren't particularly concerned with status. In fact, the parameters of acceptance in those days were different. You were judged based off your capabilities, your ability to hunt down a deer, your ability to show strength, leadership, whatever that means at the time. But it's understandable. However, the outcome remains consistent. They knew how to put something down for the future. Faking it till you make it only leaves you distraught and miserable. It's 0.001% who get away with the charade. The remaining people get burnt. The problem with a fake life is the more you live it, the deeper it drags you in. It's like quicksand. The more you move, the more it drags you down. For instance, you post a picture behind an aircraft. The peasants and bourgeoisies in your DMs are quick to capitalize on such unique scenarios, asking for money. If you do not oblige, it appears as though you're living a lie. So friends and family requesting for endless dollars of which you do not have. Anything other than send your account number or send your cash app means you're living a false reality. To you and I, the enlightened mind, we can observe it from an external standpoint. Well, I'm wealthy. I choose who I want to give my money. I choose how to spend my money. That's a very interesting discovery. And unfortunately, these guys don't think that way. They are doing their best to try and validate the fact that they're wealthy. Is the hidden contradiction of life, where the road to hell seems like heaven, while the road to heaven seems like hell. Difficulty is difficult and painful, but it's the difficulties that leads to a pleasant life. Whereas a life of pleasure, hedonism, and all kinds of degeneracy you can find leads to a depressed, difficult life at the end. The point I'm trying to establish is life is filled with hidden contradictions. Like in this our scenario, what's the example I wanted to give? Anyways, let's move on. Did I just lose my train of thoughts? Very unusual. I recall. Not obliging to that reality somehow makes you seem phony or unrealistic. The point of hidden contradiction I wanted to quickly tie into the initial example is rich people try to act poor, while poor people try to act rich. Ever seen a billionaire the way he dressed? Is almost comical. I'm talking of real billionaires, not the kind that feels this unnecessary desire to show off. I'm talking about real life billionaires. You see their style of dressing, they almost look poor. You almost feel sorry for them. Conversely, a poor man, you see how he dresses. Exactly. The poor people are the ones desperately trying to prove a point. That's the point of contradiction I wanted to quickly tie in before I forgot my train of thoughts, which is very unusual, by the way. The solution, you ask, the solution is to first stop seeking validation. Secondly, invest, build. Try to build something tangible. Try to build yourself. Try to build a business. Try to build something. The same Lord is rich unto all. Disregard this shortcut or always trying to find a quick way to your desires. Yes, you are a billionaire, but act like it in your mind. Do not condense that reality to faking your life. Unfortunately, this is where things like manifestation and the law of attraction is wrongfully taught or erroneously misunderstood. Individuals think one of the ways to validate your wealth is emptying your bank account, giving out all you have. I'm not against charity, I'm not against giving. I run a charity myself. I have people on scholarships. But that's not the point. The point I'm trying to highlight, yes, being liberal somehow lifts your spirit, but it's only a matter of time before you fall when you look back at your bank account. Chances are excellent the kind of person who is willing to give in an attempt to elevate his spirit is the kind of person, if inverse, which is looking at an empty bank account, would fall. Ask yourself this question: if you were truly a billionaire, or if you truly have achieved that which you desire, do you need something external to validate that fact? If you do not give to the poor, for instance, does it somehow subtract the amount in your bank? Of course not. Majority of people feel so guilty to be themselves. So for instance, when they act in a way seemingly inharmonious to their desired reality, they somehow believe to themselves they disrupted the path of manifestation. Now this is never going to happen. It leads to depression, spirals out of control, and inaction ultimately before they pick themselves up and begin the journey. My friend, you're putting that reality you desire on a pedestal. You're somehow foolishly assuming that reality or that version of you is impeccable, which is not. Nothing and no one is impeccable. Every single person makes mistake. Even the desired version of you makes mistake. You're going to lose money. There are times when you do not feel like giving, and not giving doesn't somehow alienate you from that reality. Unfortunately, belief is the thermostat that regulates accomplishments. As long as you believe not giving or doing XYZ alienates you or somehow disqualifies from the desired outcome, that would be your reality. Bible says it perfectly. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So whatever you think, whatever you believe that is true, that is exactly what you would see in your reality. So be careful. Believe. The solution is to disregard this competitive mindset. If you're in a group of people where all you guys discuss is who got the latest toy or the luxury XYZ, quickly detach from that kind of setting. The Bible condones. It says, those who compare themselves against themselves are not wise. To avoid fitting the category of fools, detach from that situation. And one of the insidious path or the insidious result as a consequence of this kind of decisions is the outcome will be felt immediately. You will feel lonely because those are your only friends. If you try and stop any kind of addiction, you would feel the sting immediately. Over time, you'll be glad you did. Remember what I taught you. Life is filled with hidden contradiction. The road to hell seems like war, and the road to heaven seems like war. Exactly. You're listening. Shows you've been paying attention. Go to the comment section. I want you to write. I've taught you how to comment. First, what you learned. Secondly, a second comment. So first comment, what you learned. Secondly, a review or what you'd like to see in the future or something that bothers you deeply. Why should I do this? You may ask. You should do it because my contents are very unique. The kind of conversations I bring are connecting topics seemingly unrelated to provide solutions. It's never been said in this fashion before. It's never going to be said in this way, ever. If you go down the rabbit hole, most of the times people online regurgitate content, copy what someone else has done, litter it with personal anecdotes to make it seem like it's theirs, shove it to the public, and because of what is called a halo effect, it seems unique and original. And one might say, well, if every single person is going that way, it's natural for you to want to go that way, especially when the said individuals have proven results. Success leave clues, you might say. Unfortunately, my friend, there's no one way to solve a problem. One of the worst things you can do to a struggling individual is point him in the wrong direction. Same thing with someone who's lost. The worst thing you can do is to compound his misery by pointing him in the opposite direction. It's better you leave him stranded. Unfortunately, these creators do not think this way. They are willing to fill their coffers at the expense of someone else's destiny. Now you have frustrated individuals angry, blaming God, blaming parents. And what is the problem? They say, well, I tried XYZ solution, I did as he asked, and guess what? Nothing happened. Is this kind of activity that breeds resentment over time. And once that failed individual, now an elder, sees a young man going in the same path, he is quick to call and advise, look, I've walked down this path, there's nothing to be gained. He becomes an active agent of discouragement. Most people envy, most people flaws are not a consequence of their initial proclivities. Most times it's a consequence of experience, of hate, of trials. So be more understanding. I want you to know, rest assured, I will bring a unique way to approach your problem. And I truly believe you would get results. As always, my friends, a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you when.